Very pulling guard.
Can't stay with you back.
Alex Pereira's career is hitting another crazy level as the former Brazilian kickboxing star throws himself deep into camp for his massive showdown with Ciryl Gane. Known for his terrifying power and freak-level athleticism, Pereira is taking things to the extreme by leaving Brazil's heat behind and training out in brutal freezing conditions. Videos show him grinding through heavy snow, pushing his body and mind past the limit just to sharpen that warrior mentality even more. From explosive strength drills to focused recovery work and injury prevention, Poatan is treating every session like war. Even while joking around with his team during the hardest moments, Pereira's mindset never shifts. He knows he needs serious power, pressure, and endurance to deal with a smart heavyweight technician like Gane.
Tenta ali embaixo com a esquerda, porque ele tá cobrindo com a mão alta, a mão direita dele, entendeu?
Pereira's style is all about patience, timing, and brutal knockout power. He stays calm under pressure and waits for his opponent to make the first mistake instead of charging forward carelessly. Rather than throwing wild shots, Pereira relies on his elite counter-striking to punish fighters right in the middle of their attacks. The second someone throws a punch, he makes a tiny movement to slip away and instantly fires back with dangerous precision. His famous left hook is short, fast, and seriously devastating, catching opponents before they even realize what happened. Pereira stays just outside their range, making fighters think they are in control right up until the moment he lands a clean shot they never saw coming. That calm and calculated style is what makes him such a terrifying threat inside the cage.
Tenta ali embaixo com a esquerda, porque ele tá cobrindo com a mão alta, a mão direita dele, entendeu? Flash aqui, golpe, assim, mira.
Working closely with UFC veteran Glover Teixeira, Pereira's camp is fully focused on sharpening his crushing power and dangerous left hook. Pereira has been sparring with huge training partners, including the towering 6'7" Teixeira, helping him adjust his elite kickboxing style to deal with the size and strength of the heavyweight division. He's bringing the same pressure and knockout threat that made him feared at middleweight and light heavyweight, but now he's adding more size and strength to compete with natural heavyweights. Training side by side with Teixeira, Pereira is building the toughness, durability, and heavy-handed power needed to stand toe-to-toe with a slick technical fighter like Ciryl Gane.
Pereira has a frame, definitely has a skill set to fight a guy like Gane that's not really going to maybe use too much takedowns, and if he did, I think he would get tired. I think Gane's explosive, creative, he could fight going backwards, he could fight going laterally, very skilled, throws different strikes and stays light on his feet. I think he's going to cause Pereira a lot of trouble, especially early on. But I think Pereira gets it done. I think he finds a way to get to Gane and maybe take him out in the later rounds. So I'm leaning towards Pereira on that one, but I won't be surprised if Gane gets his hand raised because he's just so damn athletic, especially as he knows he's not going to have to defend takedowns or anything. I think it's going to be a great win.
This matchup brings some serious physical and technical challenges for Alex Pereira. Even with his scary knockout power, there are still questions about how his frame and overall size will hold up against a true heavyweight athlete like Ciryl Gane. Gane's speed, footwork, and movement-heavy style could create major problems early in the fight, especially if he keeps Pereira chasing and struggling to cut off the cage. But Pereira only needs one clean opening to completely change everything. If his legendary power carries over fully to heavyweight, he could become a massive threat in the later rounds and shut the lights out with a single shot nobody sees coming.
Saw you flying on a private jet with Alex Pereira, then you were training with Alex Pereira. How is heavyweight Alex Pereira looking?
He is looking great, and actually I'm very excited to see his fight against Ciryl Gane. I respect both of them. I think that they both are legendary fighters, and it's gonna be amazing to watch.
Did you guys spar at all? Were you competing with him, Ilia?
No way.
Ilia Topuria has made it clear that he has huge respect for Alex Pereira's insane strength and presence inside the gym. The UFC star spoke highly of Pereira and admitted he's excited to watch the upcoming clash against Ciryl Gane because he believes both fighters are elite-level talents, capable of putting on an incredible fight. Topuria also pointed out that he has never actually sparred with Pereira because the size difference between them is just too massive to safely make it happen. Even so, the respect between the two fighters is real. Topuria continues to show strong support for Pereira and is backing him ahead of one of the biggest fights of his career.
Control of distance. One of the most noticeable aspects of this camp is his increased focus on grappling. This is a clear shift from his earlier approach, where striking was heavily prioritized, often at the expense of his ground game. At heavyweight, grappling becomes even more important. Fighters in this division often rely on wrestling and control to neutralize dangerous strikers. Pereira's team seems to understand this very well, and they are making sure he is not one-dimensional going into such a crucial phase of his career. There is also a strategic reason behind this grappling focus. If we consider a potential matchup with Ciryl Gane, it becomes obvious why Pereira is working so hard in this area. Gane is widely respected for his striking skills, movement, and technical ability on the feet. However, his past fights have exposed certain weaknesses in grappling and wrestling defense. Fighters who have been able to take him down and control him have found success. This does not mean Gane is weak overall, but it does show that grappling is an area where he can be challenged. Pereira and his team are likely studying these past performances carefully. They are not just preparing him to defend takedowns, but also to initiate grappling exchanges when the opportunity presents itself.
Alex Pereira's mental toughness is becoming just as important as his physical abilities as he prepares for the heavyweight division. The move brings a completely different level of pressure, but Pereira and his team are focused on keeping him disciplined, sharp, and calm against the fast movements and tricky style of Ciryl Gane. They know one mistake at heavyweight can instantly change a fight. That mental strength allows Pereira to stay locked into his game plan even when the pressure is at its highest. Along with sharpening his dangerous striking, he's also continuing to build his wrestling and grappling skills to become a more complete fighter. By adjusting to the speed, size, and movements of heavyweight opponents, Pereira is transforming his entire style and proving he's serious about competing with the best fighters in the division.
There is also a mental component to this transition. Moving to a new weight class, especially heavyweight, comes with new challenges and expectations. Pereira appears focused and disciplined, which has always been a part of his identity as a fighter. His ability to stay calm under pressure and stick to a game plan is something that will serve him well in this new division. Looking at the bigger picture, this camp is about more than just preparing for a single opponent. It is about redefining Pereira as a fighter. By improving his grappling, maintaining his striking, and adapting to heavyweight dynamics, he is working toward becoming a more complete mixed martial artist. This evolution is necessary if he wants to compete with the best in the division.
Alex Pereira's training camp has taken on an intense and almost ruthless atmosphere as he prepares for the biggest challenge of his heavyweight journey. The former UFC champion has reached another level mentally, fully understanding the pressure and danger waiting for him against Ciryl Gane. While some fighters look for motivation from outside sources, Pereira runs completely on discipline and consistency, allowing him to push through pain, exhaustion, and brutal training sessions without losing focus. He approaches every workout with a cold and serious mindset, ignoring the distractions, hype, and attention that usually surround massive UFC fights. Instead, Pereira is obsessed with sharpening every part of his game day after day. His gym has basically become a war room built around turning Poatan into the most dangerous and complete version of himself heading into this heavyweight showdown.
This camp reportedly carries a different atmosphere around him, not louder, not more emotional, just more focused. The intensity surrounding Pereira's preparation seems to have elevated to another level because he understands exactly what sits in front of him. Fighters often speak about motivation before big fights, but you know, motivation alone fades quickly when the body becomes exhausted. Dedication is different. Dedication survives pain, boredom, fatigue, sacrifice, and repetition. Pereira's career has been built on dedication. There is a coldness to his discipline that separates him from many athletes. He does not appear interested in distractions or theatrics. His entire mentality revolves around sharpening himself daily. The gym is not simply a workplace for him anymore. It is the environment where he transforms himself into something greater.
MMA analyst James Lynch believes Alex Pereira is still one of the most dangerous strikers anywhere in the UFC. He especially points to Pereira's terrifying knockout power and deadly left hook, which can end a fight instantly with just one clean shot. According to Lynch, that kind of power makes Pereira a constant threat every second the fight stays standing. Lynch also mentioned that while Pereira's defense may not be elite, moving up to heavyweight could actually make him even tougher and more durable since he no longer has to deal with exhausting weight cuts. In the end, Lynch predicts Pereira will slowly break Ciryl Gane down in a striking battle before finishing the fight with a knockout in the 4th round.
Last fight, but ultimately, I think when it boils down to it, I am going to go with Alex Pereira in this fight, and I do think he can knock out Ciryl Gane. Now look, obviously, the big question is, can that power translate to heavyweight with Alex Pereira? We don't really know the answer to that. We'll have to see. We'll find out, obviously, in this fight. He wasn't able to knock out Jan Blachowicz at light heavyweight. There are fights where Pereira, didn't always get the knockout, but typically he does. He's got kind of that death touch. There's very few fighters that have the death touch. I put Pereira in that category. I put Ilia Topuria in that category. There's just certain fighters that have that death touch. I don't think Gane has that. Gane, if you look at his knockout wins, a lot of them were TKO wins. They weren't like one-punch knockout wins. They were more like punches and volume. So again, I think
he's moved up to heavyweight. Of course, he's going to look a little bit heavier. He's going to be a little less ripped. The abs aren't going to be popping, okay? That's just science. What do you guys expect him to do? Put on, 40 pounds of muscle and move up and be a real heavyweight? See, that's the problem. He can't do that. We can't go out there and take steroids. You can have all the protein powder you want in the world, but if you're training for a mixed martial arts fight and you're not taking steroids, you're going to have a real hard time putting on muscle because all the cardiovascular style training, the wrestling, the sparring, the hitting the pads, the running that you need to do for your conditioning, that all eats away at putting muscle on. The only weight that you're going to gain will be water weight or fat, and that's okay.
Michael Bisping recently responded to fans criticizing Alex Pereira's physique after moving up to heavyweight, and he made it clear that the reaction is being overblown. According to Bisping, it's completely normal for Pereira to look less shredded now that he's competing at a heavier weight class. He explained that fighters in the middle of camp spend endless hours doing cardio, wrestling, sparring, and recovery work, making it extremely difficult to pack on pure muscle naturally while training at that level. Bisping also pointed out that Pereira's body is constantly burning energy during these brutal sessions as he prepares for Ciryl Gane. Because of that, any extra weight Pereira gains during camp is more likely to come from water retention and natural body mass rather than looking like a bodybuilder. For Bisping, none of this is a problem because the real focus of camp is endurance, skill development, durability, and fight preparation, not chasing a perfect physique. As the build-up toward the massive showdown continues, the attention surrounding Pereira keeps getting bigger. Fans are waiting to see whether his terrifying knockout power and relentless training can help him dominate in a 3rd UFC weight class. Gane's movement, speed, and technical style present a serious challenge, but Pereira's discipline and laser focus throughout camp have made many believe he's ready for the moment. Whether the fight ends with a brutal left hook or a high-level tactical battle, Poatan looks determined to prove once again why he's one of the most feared fighters in the sport.